Iowa's primary industry is agriculture. As a result, the rate of asbestos-related mortality in this state has been somewhat lower than the other areas of the nation. Since 1979, 460 Iowans, out of a population of approximately 2.9 million, have lost their lives to asbestos diseases. The overwhelming majority of these were from mesothelioma, which accounted for roughly 80% of these fatalities. Where the asbestos is, for the most part, is at the state's power plants where workers were exposed to asbestos. This is not surprising in light of a Puerto Rican study performed recently where 13% of power plant workers showed some degree of asbestos-related scarring of the lungs when chest x-rays were examined. Asbestos is primarily used as a fire retardant and heat shield. In facilities that have steam generators, asbestos packing is found in pipe fittings, while asbestos insulation is frequently used around pipes themselves as well as fire doors. While there have been efforts in the U.S. and abroad to reduce and abate asbestos products in such plants, mesothelioma rates have been climbing in many areas. The Iowa power plants are located primarily in and around the cities of Cedar Falls, Cedar Rapids, Council Bluffs, Davenport, Des Moines, Iowa City, Mason City, Sioux City, and Waterloo, and include Alliant Power Stack, Duane Arnold Alliant Energy, Iowa Light and Power, Iowa Power and Light, Sioux City Coal and Gas, Storm Lake Power Plant, and the Tipton Power Plant. In addition, two chemical manufacturers, Irwin Chemical Company and USI, appear on the list of Iowa exposure sites. In addition to heat and fire resistance, certain types of asbestos, predominantly crucidolite, has been used in many applications where caustic, corrosive substances pose a hazard. Crucidolite or blue asbestos is an amphibole, which is particularly deadly. Although asbestosis and cancer such as mesothelioma can result from exposure to either amphibole or the softer chrysotile asbestos, sometimes touted by the powerful Canadian asbestos lobby as safe asbestos, the former tends to be faster acting and causing the kind of cellular mutations that result in the development of cancer, according to medical research. Agricultural exposure to asbestos. While asbestos is not usually a danger in farming and ranching industries, there are exceptions, particularly when it comes to buildings in which farm machinery is stored, as well as the shops in which such machinery is serviced. Asbestos-containing material is found in gaskets and brake material, as well as the buildings themselves. This has been a problem in several small farming communities in eastern Colorado. Another agricultural source of asbestos exposure is often from naturally occurring deposits that are uncovered in the process of plowing and digging activities. However, this is more of a problem in the southeast and California. Iowa, being primarily geologically inactive flatlands, has no natural asbestos deposits. Community statistics. Polk County, where the state capital and county seat of Des Moines is located, had the largest number of asbestos-related deaths in the 20-year period prior to the 2000 census, mainly due to mesothelioma. In that same period, the general population of the Des Moines area increased by around 22%. The lowest exposure rates were found in rural counties such as Sioux, Washington, Calhoun, Crawford, Grundy, Monroe, and Winneshiek. In each of these counties, only a single victim was recorded during that time. It should be noted that while these statistics account for deaths inside the state of Iowa, it does not take into account where the asbestos exposure took place or the specific occupations of the victims. Legal resources in Iowa. People in Iowa with an interest in filing mesothelioma lawsuits should know that the statute of limitations for personal injury law in Iowa is 2 years, with a discovery rule stating that this amount of time begins when the problem, in this case the mesothelioma, was either discovered or should have been discovered. Wrongful death cases fall under the same statute of limitations and follow the same discovery rule. However, Iowa Supreme Court has adopted a separate injury rule that allows a plaintiff to file a lawsuit for an asbestos-related cancer regardless of whether the victim had developed asbestosis at a much earlier date. Under this rule, the discovery of asbestosis does not trigger the statute of limitations on asbestos-related diseases that develop later, including cancers such as mesothelioma, allowing victims of such cancers to pursue compensation for their disease. This means that mesothelioma victims in Iowa who have discovered the disease after having first developed asbestosis can file suit on the mesothelioma within the statute of limitations related to the discovery date of the cancer. With 21 mesothelioma-related deaths in 1999, Iowa ranks 33 in the nation for mesothelioma cases. So while this issue is one of concern in the state, it is not pressing in comparison to a majority of states in the nation. Perhaps for this reason, there is not a significant number of high-profile mesothelioma or asbestos-related cases in the state. Oftentimes, when the issue arises, it results in settlement. For example, in 2004, Sioux City was awarded a $7,500 settlement from Wisconsin-based Old Republic Surety Company for rubble containing asbestos that resulted from the demolition of part of a livestock exchange building. A cleanup plan was put in place, and there are no known cases, as of yet, of asbestos-related disease caused by the construction-based asbestos exposure. Although there has not been significant legislation on the issue, the state of Iowa does note concerns, as in the above cases. Another example of this is in the early 2007 Iowa OSHA notice that worker safety is still compromised by exposure to asbestos, warning of asbestos' lingering presence in the automotive industry. More specifically, there is current concern in the state about asbestos-related disease in those employees who work on the brakes of older cars. The Worker Safety Alert specifically addresses workplace safety and health issues and holds no jurisdiction over anyone working on older model vehicles during their leisure time. But health risks should be of concern to these amateur mechanics as well. In another 2007 issue, students at one Iowa elementary school had their classes relocated as officials discovered that the glue on asbestos-containing ceiling tiles was failing, causing tiles to fall. Again, this points to the fact that despite lack of mesothelioma litigation in the state, there are reasons for continued concern by Iowa's citizens. In fact, 4 mesothelioma victims have come together in 2007 in a lawsuit against a Des Moines company that manufactures putty used for wood and plaster repairs, model building, and sculpting. This is only the second asbestos-related lawsuit for the company, which has made putty since 1932. In 2005, the first case was dismissed when tests conducted on behalf of the plaintiff failed to find asbestos. Thank you for watching. This video was produced by Asbestos.Net, a leading resource on all aspects of asbestos and mesothelioma. Our priority is to inform victims about the devastating effects of asbestos exposure, mesothelioma, asbestos cancer, asbestosis, and other asbestos-related diseases, and to advise them with a wealth of information. Individuals whose lives have been touched by mesothelioma have numerous questions and concerns. Their caregivers and family members also need accurate, reliable information. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with mesothelioma or asbestos cancer and need more information, we invite you to visit and explore the thousands of pages of oncologist-reviewed material on Asbestos.Net, to call our convenient toll-free number shown below and speak with a mesothelioma specialist, or to use the simple contact form found at Asbestos.Net to request a free copy of our informative books, custom inserts, and DVD. Asbestos.Net, information and help for patients and families.